Hello. I see some of you bet me to it. Gaz, hello. Are you excited by any chance? Please tell me you can hear me. I'm not chatting away to myself and no one can hear me. So I need to learn sign language. Do I need to do my volume? There we go. Can you hear me now? Let's have a look. Hello. Will you shut my door for me, please? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. So my husband can hear me through his phone and because he stood right here. Oh, there's so many of you. Hello, let me just, there we go. Hello, so Karen, Rhonda, Nanny to the Girls, Handcrafted by Gaz, Karen, Samantha, June, hello everyone. Hulippa, did I say that right? Apologies if I didn't. There's no L there, is there? There's no L there, might be, there might not be. But Karen, oh, okay, you can hear me. Rhonda, Lorraine, Bethan, Aloha, I love that. So hello, everyone. I don't know what it is like where you are, but it's warm here. Sorry, I was just drying my hands off. It's so warm. It is so warm here, but we don't get that lovely warm heat, do we? We get that really sort of sticky sort of heat, that yucky stuff that just is uncomfortable. But, you know, I'm not complaining because a couple of weeks ago I was complaining that it was too cold and now I'm complaining that it's too warm. You just can't please some people, can you? Right, so firstly, just getting comfortable. Can I just say thank you so much to you all for your support, for your comments, for your lovely messages, for buying so much stuff that I've been packaging stuff for a week. And I've even been going to bed and dreaming about packing craft boxes. I'm not complaining about that one though, can I just say? 2060 here, I'm melting like the Wicked Witch of the West girl. Oh, tell me about it, Gaz. Tell me about it. It's if I was out on a beach somewhere, you know, sipping a nice cold drink, it wouldn't be so bad. But no, I love being in my craft room. No matter how hot it gets, it's very rare that you catch me out of this craft room. Lynn, hello. If I missed anyone's names, hello. I was just saying thank you so much. Your support has been amazing. And I couldn't wish for a better group of followers. I really couldn't. Stormed last night. The heat has subsided, but the humidity is high. Yes, that's it, isn't it? It's the humidity that's worse than anything. Right, so you can see in front of me, I know that we sort of showed these on the launch show. I know some of you might have missed it, but I thought we'd have a quick sneaky peek through. I know lots of you have started receiving your parcels. I've had lots of messages saying that you've loved them and the little sweeties that I've popped in there as well. I did have a lovely little thank you card that was going to go in each and every parcel, but I've got a lovely pile of thank you cards here in my craft room because I made sure I put all the sweets in and I forgot all the little thank you cards. So next time you order, I'll put you 2 thank you cards in. Where did I see that? Oh yeah, Phil. Good evening all. Good evening, Phil. Are you melting where you are? We're all melting here, definitely. Right, so we'll have a quick look through. So there's the 12 by 12s and the 6 by 6s. I'll pop those to the side because I think it's always easier to have a look at the 6 by 6s, isn't it? Because you can get it all on there. Diane, hello. So this is one of them. And again, my light is shocking in here. When you get it, that's more true to what it is. There you go. It's an absolutely gorgeous collection. If that sounds very big-headed, but it was a collaboration. That's a lot more warm. Let me see. I did promise you I'd get my camera sorted out, didn't I? But I will, I promise. I know you've all seen the pictures of it as well. So it's the Victorian summer's garden through various times of the summer and the day. So in some of them, I love these, very sepia, these ones. Christy D, hello. Eleanor, hello all. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for Michelle. What Eleanor said, please and thank you. This is one of my favourites. It is just so picturesque. I think sometimes when you look at it and you sort of transported there, you can imagine yourself there. I think you've done a good job with the paper pad. And again, kudos to Ben, because he literally took everything that I said. See, that's so much greener and that's more pink and peach. I don't know if it's the lighting in here or the camera, but we will get it sorted out. So yeah, Ben literally has took everything that I've asked him to do and done it and then some. So I can't thank him enough for that. But they're all just so lovely. I'm absolutely in love with this collection. I really, really am. I'm very happy with it, I've got to say. Love the papers. Can't wait to make an album. Beautiful collection. Thank you. Rhonda, Chicago area is nice. It's overcast and 81. I think when it's a little bit overcast, it tones down the humidity, things like that, doesn't it? Makes it more bearable. Such a stunning collection. I can't wait to make Brighton style card with it. Oh, Bridgerton, sorry. Absolutely. I should have been hashtagging and everything called the Bridgerton cast, shouldn't I? See if anyone commented. So let's get on and let's create something, because I think the fear that lots of you had, and not just with my collection, but with any collection, let me bring in one I've already got out, is having a huge 12 by 12 and not really knowing what to do with it. Stay there. Let me see if I turn this warm light round, if it gives it a bit more warmth. I don't know if that was a help or a hindrance. But I'll obviously, there you go. You can see it a lot better there, can't you? Yes, so I think the fear that a lot of you had was a 12 by 12. How do you make it into cards? Because I think we're predominantly card makers, aren't we? So, you want to create an album and send a card, or create a scrapbook page and send a card. So as beautiful as this is, absolutely perfect for a scrapbook page. So if you do scrapbook or if you don't scrapbook, the sort of rule of thumb with scrapbooking, it's very much along the photography route, is you're going to split either just with your eye, just sort of in your mind's eye, you're going to split it up into 3, 3, and 3. So if I don't want to, no, I'm not gonna. So imagine you've got your grid. You've got your 2 lines there and your 2 lines there, your 4 and your 8. What you tend to do with scrapbooking is to make it very pleasing on the eye. You definitely pop things on in sort of 3s. But if you pop something on, so you'd have that cross there, wouldn't you? If you pop something there, it's going to look so much nicer than if you plonk something right in the middle of that square or right in the middle of that one. It's just the way that it splits up. So it's very simple. If you're going to split it into those 9 grids, you've got your crosses and your lines across these certain places that you'll figure out it looks so much better. So very simply, that's really the main rule that I stick to when I'm doing my scrapbooking. The grid of 9 and that rule of popping 3s on in there. So again, these are absolutely perfect for that, because the way that they've been laid out, let me see if I can grab a different one. You're still going to be able to do that. So you can sort of see here, you'd have that cross there. And if you were popping something on that one and that one, you've still got so much to see. But that also goes for if you're wanting to cut these up as well. So let's trim this one down, and we'll just start with the most simple and most basic of cards. So this looks absolutely gorgeous, just as it is. I'm just looking up because I try to look up often so I don't miss any gossip. No, just everyone saying hello. So we're going to split this into 4 and 8. So we're going to cut it down at 4 inches. And then we're going to cut it down at 4 inches again. So at 4 and 8. So we've got those 3 strips. So if I just pop that to the side. So straight away, if you are doing a DL card, let's bring that up just a little so you can see it. If you are doing a DL card, you can see that that looks beautiful. You can add your flowers, your toppers, whatever it is, your sentiments onto there, and just on its own, it looks beautiful. And then the same goes for this one. So even though I've cut my paper up, it still looks beautiful when you do cut it down. Who's got a kitten? Barbara, hi. You're late. You've a kitten sleeping on your shoulder. Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. Caroline, yay, you made it in the end. Oh, that's great. So again, look at this third one. It does look a bit more. There's so much more colour on these than it's picking up. There you go. Look, if I bring it up, you can see so much more colour. But again, just on its own, it looks absolutely beautiful. But what we're going to do is we're going to trim these down again. So I'm going to trim them in half. So I'm going to have 6 that are 4 by 6. Let's pop those there. And I think I know I was exactly the same. I think working for crafters really helped me to just go for it. Working on a design team to start with so many other crafters, the support and confidence that you got to just go for it from, you know, sort of the others on the design team was absolutely amazing. So whereas I would have been scared to cut it up to start with or before that, with those and with the others on the design team, they really helped to take the fear away from cutting up a beautiful 12 by 12. Now, I know you've got your 6 by 6s, so this particular pattern looks beautiful in the 6 by 6, but cutting it up, so just on its own, how beautiful does each piece look? These papers are so better in real life. I adore them. They really are. I did spend, well, I'm saying the husband spent about 30 minutes before, and just, it was having none of it. It either went, so everything looks like it was glowing, or everything looked really rubbish. But if I bring it closer, you can see it picks up the colour a lot more. So cutting them down, don't be scared. Just do it. How lovely, just on their own do they look. So for instance, just this one, pop a sentiment on it, pop your flowers, mat and layer it, just have a really simple sentiment on there. What you get is 6 really beautiful little notelets, if that's sort of what you're wanting to go for. So I'm going to pop that to the side, and I'm going to bring these bits in, because this is the card that I did. So it's one of those lovely, I always forget what it's called, but it's one of those cards. Someone says, is it a windmill card? Is it a windmill card? It may be, it may not be, but it's one of those. So if I turn that round, what you can see is those 6 that I've cut down, I've used on this card. So each piece on its own looks absolutely gorgeous. And you're still getting the full effect of those beautiful papers, even though you've cut into them. I've used a different piece on that side. It just felt a little naked without anything there. But can you see how beautiful just on their own they look? So we'll pop one of these together. Let me pop that to the side. So nice and simple card to start with. So I've got a piece of, this is sort of like a pinky purpley colour. Pinwheel card. Hannah, hello, thank you. You're always here to my rescue, aren't you, Hannah? Pinwheel card. What did I call it? A windmill one. It's nearly the same thing. It looks like a jet engine. What did I miss? What looks like a jet engine? See, I should look up more often, shouldn't I? So we're going to bring this in. I've already scored it, but I want to sort of re-score those score lines. So I've cut this down to 6.5 inches by 6 inches. And at each 1 inch, we're just going to score it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There we go. Pop that to the side. So give these a nice, good burnish. Although, did you mean outside my window? A plane has just gone by. I've got my window open and I'm sat right next to the window, and a plane has just gone by and it did sound very loud. So I wonder if that's what you heard or you meant Phil. Oh no, you said it looks. Guys, you typed quicker than me. Right, so last scar line. And that one we're just gonna, there we go. So we've all we've all sort of popped these together. So it's just that one tab that's going to glue together, and then you've got that lovely shape. Now I'm going to pop that, in fact we'll glue it and then we'll pop it to the side, and then that glue can be drying. So pop that on there. All fingers and no thumbs, or no thumbs and all fingers as usual. But we get there, don't we? There we go. So just wiggle that a little. The card design, when you look down on it, okay, I get that. Michelle, did you ever do part 3 of your gorgeous? Now that's something I meant to tell you. Tomorrow on Ciao Bella's page, we are doing part 3. It would have been done, well, I was going to do it last week, but I wasn't very well last week at all. So I never did it. So it is going to be tomorrow night. So Thursday, Thursday tomorrow, 6:30 UK time. We're going to do part 3, and that one will be on Ciao Bella's page, but I will be popping the link up for that after this show. So before I carry on with the ones that I've already cut out, I want to show you this one. It's almost like a jigsaw, isn't it? Let's have a look, see if we can figure it out. So again, this is another one of those pages. So you can see, popping it all together like that, you've got that beautiful, again, that beautiful seam, which looks beautiful, obviously, as a full page. But you can see that I've cut them all down because I wanted you to see that even on these ones, they look beautiful cut up. So each one looks absolutely, it doesn't look like you've cut up a page, a scrapbooking page. It doesn't look like there's something missing from you know, the artwork or from the piece of paper, because of the way that it sits, it just looks lovely. So I just wanted to show you that one, but the one I'm using is a different one. So I've got 6 pieces of the matching colour to this, and these are, so I've just so these are 6 by 4. And then my pieces of paper I've trimmed down just 1/4 of an inch. So they're going to be 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I've used one of those lovely punches, the Crafter's Companion ones. This one, I used this one. So you've got those beautiful corner punches. If you've got the CC ones, if you've got any others, even if you've only just got a corner punch, which is what I used on these ones, it just adds something you know, and not a lot of effort. So I think I've just got one left to do the corners on. So we'll do that now. And it's a 200 GSM, which means these punches work beautifully through them. She says needing both hands that second time. But let me see if I can figure this one out as well, so you can see the full pattern of this one. Can you tell I was never good at jigsaws? I was always the one, you know, when you had the Rubik's, can you remember the Rubik's Cubes when we was younger? When we were younger, you could take all the blocks off. And I used to be able to pop all the blocks off and then rearrange it because I could never do it. Are we there? Oh, we're there. Are we there? Does that go to that side? Oh, it does. Look at that. There we go. So that is that particular piece of paper that I'm using. And again, beautiful together, but, you know, all cut up. Looks absolutely gorgeous just on their own. Even this, when you've cut that down, even though you've only got part of it, it looks gorgeous. So as simply as just cutting it down into 4x6s or 6x6s, you get a beautiful effect. So then what we're going to do now is we're just going to pop our glue on these and then mat and layer them up. So I thought we'd start with a nice simple one, just so you can get the idea and the effect of how easy and simple it is to just cut into your paper a 6-piece puzzle. I know. When the kids were little, and like really little, and they used to come with the Dora the Explorer, you know, 6- and 8-piece puzzle. I was a boss at it. I was amazing. But when they grow up and they wanted like a 100-piece puzzle, I was like, your dad'll do that one with you. Which I'll be doing again soon with my grandson. I'll have those puzzles that I can do. It'll be easy. So just popping those to the side and gluing them all down. How dare someone representing a candidate for election come knocking on my door? What? It's just, some people are just rude, Kirsty. They're just rude. I know I've been seeing so much. It's just literally everywhere, isn't it? All this election stuff. I mean, I should probably be a little bit more up on it. But it gets a bit much, doesn't it? It does. So just carrying on with this. And I'm putting them on the pinwheel card, but you might just be mat and layering 6 up onto the front of some little cards and making a lovely little notelet set. Some envelopes, popping it in a bag similar to the one that I posted through the week, because it is definitely one of those that you know, when you go to the seaside or you go to one of them posh shops like a garden centre and they've got the set of notelets that are just the pictures, literally nothing else, and they're about £20, aren't they? But they look so beautiful and elegant. So you could create something just as simple with this. Handcrafted by Gaz. Hannah, that is the best option. What did I miss? I could do with sort of some sort of text to speech type thing going on. So every comment the computer reads out to me, so I don't miss anything. Can you get something like that? And if not, can someone invent it for me, please? There we go. So that's my 6 done. And then I've cut 6 more of these. So this is for the other side. You don't have to do this. It's entirely up to you. You can do. So again, the same height. So we've got 5 3/4. And then I cut this to about 2.5. And the way that I came up with that was no other than Once it's on here, I just turned this over and I just decided how wide to go just by looking at it and deciding, was that too thick? Was it too thin? So no other reason than I just looked at it to see what I liked. But on this one, I've got lots of, where is it? I've used this all around the edges, some of my gilding wax, just round all these edges. Again, just to make sort of these stamps pop out. Again, you don't have to. This is all just personal preference, isn't it? So before we pop those on, I'm going to glue these down as well. And I think this is one of the simplest cards, but just looks stunning. It's so effective when it's done. And I've done the same with the corners on these as well. I've used that lovely punch on the corners. So let's pop all these on first before we carry on. There we go. So I might have some more sneaky peeks a little later of some of the paper collections that I've been working on for the next, that's going to be coming up over the next month or so. So the sat next to me this time. It's not like the other day. What was it, last week when I launched and I couldn't find those sneaky peek samples. My husband's made sure they're right there, right next to me, so I don't lose them. And he doesn't have to come in and find them for me. So with these, because you've cut them down, you can have the pattern follow round your pinwheel, or you can just put them on randomly. Because they're very standalone once they're cut up, it doesn't matter following sort of a pattern or not. So because you can see that this is absolutely totally different from the other backs that I've been putting on. So I took 5 of these from one of my 12 by 12s because I cut them at 2.5 inches. So I got 5 out of the bottom strip of my paper. So I got one of my 6 by 6s and I've cut this one out. And then what I'm going to do, this is going to be what I would view as the front of my pinwheel. So it's just going to be the one that is different to the rest. So, and it's only sort of the one that I've decorated up. So I've decorated the main piece up and just that side. And then the only other thing I've done is just on that one there, I've added 2 of those because when it's stood up, those are sort of the 3 main bits that you're going to be seeing from the front. I mean, by all means, you can decorate it all up. But for me, then it means that I know, and whoever I'm gifting it to knows which is sort of the front. I mean, I know that should be obvious, but I think we all know sometimes when we gift those fancy shapes and fancy folds, it's not always quite so obvious how things sort of stand and fold out, is it? There we go. So last one. And then, oh, I might have some more exciting news for you as well. I don't know how I forgot. I've been so excited about it all day. I've got some exciting stuff in the pipeline coming up. So just looking lovely all by themselves, but we're going to pop them on this pinwheel. So it's entirely up to you. It's very easy to pop them on. I'm going to bring in this. So this is my metallic paint marker. And if you haven't got any of this, any gilding waxes or anything like that, these work brilliantly as well. Just give it a shake and literally just, and you don't need to be really careful with it easier, because sometimes when you get sort of a little extra bit of a paint mark there, it adds to the effect. It almost looks like you really have popped some of this on. So just to make these more decorative, I'm going to go around with just this, just on all of those scars. And then I really should be, let me find a little scrap piece of paper. Get that ink coming through. Oh, there we go. You can get text to speech, but a fast chat would give you a headache. Of course it would. I hate missing anything. I'm very nosy. I don't like to miss anything. Right, so what I'm going to do, and again, this is a personal preference. You can pop it right up to that score line. I like to leave probably, I don't know, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. I like to be able to see that lovely, either your gilding wax coming through and then a little bit of that purple. If you use a different colour, that always looks nice as well. And again, that's all the decorative bit that is just personal preference. So let's line that up. There we go. And then just press it down. And then fold it back on itself and do the same. And just, there we go. So a nice easy card, but one that I thought really worked and played to the strengths of this paper collection. I do think we've all got different collections in our stash at home that work well with different card styles. So all those fancy folds, you know, like tarot cards and things like that, where you have to really cut up your paper small. If you've bought a paper collection that you absolutely love, and you wouldn't necessarily use it on a card like that because you want to be able to see a lot more of your pattern. But then when you've got a card base like this, where you get to see lots of that pattern, it works better for this collection. So I do want to, everyone who's bought the collection and has either received it yet or is going to be receiving it, if you make anything with it, please do share, tag me. Again, very nosy. I don't like to miss anything. I would love to see what you've been coming up with regards to my paper padding collection. So just the last two to pop on. There we go. I want to make a train with moving wheels. I've still got my so that strawberry collection. I think it was a Frank Garcia one for Prima. Can you remember when I bought all that strawberry stuff a little while ago? I wanted to make my train with it. So I think I'm still going to do that because I think that collection is going to work beautifully with a train. So I've got a train and a couple of those carriages to do that I need to get on with doing. We can either do that live or we can do it as a tutorial. So there we go. I just love it from above. It looks amazing, doesn't it? But then when you're flicking through it, you really get to see lots of the papers without losing anything. So let me find. So that is what I said I would be using as the front. Now, this is entirely up to you, but what I've got, let me just find it because I've popped it. I've popped it somewhere, say. It's just here. Bear with me. Don't go anywhere. I mean, I know you're not, but So I have had this die set for absolutely ages. I just got it off Amazon, but it's one of my most used die sets. So you've got like sort of a little ticket stub with this one, and it perforates it. And again, sort of these two here are stamps, and it perforates it, so you can keep them together or you can separate them. Let me bring in my little machine, because what you can do is, if you've cut your page down and you've got a strip left and you don't want to get rid of it, you don't want it to go to waste. So for instance, earlier today I was having a play with this particular one, and that's a strip that I've cut off the top. If you don't want to waste it, you're not going to want to waste any of it. We're going to use these, so let's pop that just in there and run it through. It's about with me while my desk shakes. There we go. Let's pop that to the side. So then what you've got, let's just pop that out. You've got those little stamps, look, and they're perforated so you can pull them apart as well. And this has got to be the perfect companion for this particular collection, because you're not going to waste any of it. So you can cut these off. Now, let me see if I had any spare bits. I didn't, did I? So any spare bits, you can be popping these on. So let me bring this in and show you. That's what I've done with this one. I've just cut two little stamps. I've edged them with my pen to make them pop. And again, I'm not being careful. I like it when it goes onto the page and looks a bit more rustic. So look at those little stamps. I'm going to pop that one there. And if you feel, I don't think that particular piece works with that because it's the sky with the garden, then maybe move them over here and have them popped on that side. But then again, if I just bring in the one that I've finished, if you got the kit, it's just got lots of little ephemera in there. So just a couple, let me find my extras. So you had some little bits of ephemera. So there was some like little pieces of paper, you know, that papery paper that we were talking about last time. Let me see if I can just get a few of these bits out. So you've got all sorts of stickers in yours. Mine are a little bit different because mine is from a different pack that I bought a while ago. But you've got all these. So again, little stickers in here. So all I've done is I've used sort of two of these and I've laid them up, and then one of the stamps. So either the stamp that you have made yourself, or your craft kit came with some stamps. There's some lovely little stamps in there. All I did was I cut it in half. So let me find my scissors. So let's just sort of layer this up. So we're going to pop that on there. We're going to maybe have that one there and that one there. And then we're going to trim this up on a bit of an angle. And then what you can do is you can sit it there, and it makes it look like it's sat underneath. And then you can bring this in and pop that one just up there. It's all about having just a few layers on there. And then bringing this one in again. All I did on top was the Embrace the Journey. Now, I've been using this literally for everything. So again, I think I got these from Amazon or eBay, one of them. If you search for journaling bits and bobs, that's where you tend to find lots of this kind of ephemera. I took some of those off. I popped it on there and there. It was a bit white because they're white. So then all I did was I got my little brush and some ink, and I just took the edge off the whiteness, and it just tied it in just a little bit better. And then so this, oh, I'll have to show you this because I know lots of you, again, if you've got the kit, it's going to be in there. So I've popped you, I think you've got 3 of these sheets of gold leaf. Now, I know you can be using, if you've got those giant pots of, what are they called? Why can I not remember that word? We all got them. They came in nearly every colour from CC, didn't they? The big pots of gilding flakes. Knew it'd come to me. I gave my train from last year to my son with Chocky in it. Oh, brilliant. I can never put nothing somewhere safe because I can never find it. Well, at least it's safe wherever it is. I could put a onesie or something like that inside the train and it would be the card. Yes, absolutely perfect. Brilliant idea. Yes, absolutely. You could have a whale of a time using distress inks and texture stamps over this. Absolutely. So they're all uncoated. They're uncoated so you can do what you want with them. You can ink them. You can add absolutely anything. Really go to town with them if you want, because I wanted to make sure I didn't want anything coated or anything like that. And I didn't want to use like, you can get some card that is like so silky smooth that you can't glue it. Does that make sense? So I bought a paper, again, stay there, don't move. So I got this paper pad and I got it off the internet and I cannot remember where I got it from. It is the most beautiful colours in here, but it's the way, so it's got a little bit of a texture to it, but when I've tried to glue it, it does not glue. It doesn't glue to itself. It just keeps peeling. So I had to use red liner on it. So again, I wanted to make sure that the card that I picked for my papers, I'll just put that down, was perfect. And I've had a lot of fun testing and crafting the papers. Jessica, how do you purchase this collection? So just message me on Facebook. So it's Michelle McCarthy Crafts. And then we will sort out the details. All payments are by PayPal. So everyone's covered. Is gold leaf as scary as gilding flakes? It's not. I'm going to show you why it's not in a minute. So pop me a message on Facebook. Did I say Michelle McCarthy Crafts? Same as this. And we'll sort out the details. You let me know if it's the paper, the 12 by 12, the 6 by 6 you want, things like that. I kept it small because I've got to be honest, when I launched it, I didn't think, well, you just never know when you sort of do a sort of small startup. So I didn't think that I'd sell as many as I did, and you've all loved it, and thank you so much. So the next step is obviously some sort of proper website type thing going on, but one step at a time, because it's all scary. Right, so do you have any of your glue pens? Where's mine gone? I've got these from Sticks to Anything. These are absolutely amazing. Work every single time. You can write your name with them, everything like that. So let me just bring in this, so you straight away, can you see that? It came out straight away, and I've had it stored up. So it comes out straight away. It comes out blue, and it's absolutely brilliant. So this is what I used on here. So that flower had some markings that I just followed around with the glue. Now you're going to wait until, I'll do it on here so you can see it. So you're going to wait until it starts to go clear. So it needs to go tacky. So let's see if we can force dry it just a little bit. I mean, you can see straight away what I've wrote with it because it's absolutely just brilliant. I mean, you're going to leave it for a couple of minutes. I'm just trying to force it. You want to wait until it starts to go clear. Excuse me. And then once it's starting to go clear, it'll be tacky, and you can feel that it's tacky and not wet. And then that's when you're going to come in. Now, let me bring in another one. Your sheets. I've been playing with mine all week. You've got a full sheet of yours. I'm going to pop that one back. There's just, it's easier to control this way. It's the same as gilding flakes. If you've got any kind of moisture on your hand or anything like that, it is going to stick to you and it's not coming off. So what I tend to use is I tend to use my tweezers. And because you're picking one sheet up and not a bunch of little flakes, it is more controllable. You're not going to get it all over your craft room. But if you've got one of those Brenda boxes like Gaz was making, and I think we had one at CC as well, you know, just a little box. It can just be a box lid. If you put it in there and then when you do rub those few flakes off, it's going to stay in your box and it's not going to go everywhere. So I'm just looking at this now and you can see that that blue is starting to disappear. Now that's going to stay tacky for ages. In fact, I think my daughter wrote on something the other day and forgot about it. I lent on it, obviously. And it was still tacky and it was hours later. So it is really, really good. So you can either pick up the full sheet because it does pick up really easy. And then pop that on just like that. And then I don't have my sponge with me, but I'll use my little, it's my dirty tea. Well, it's not a dirty tea towel. It's got more ink and things on it than anything. Now, that piece has peeled away and it's a nice big piece. So I'm going to pop it back on there. And what you can also do is you're going to be able to sort of tear it away and pop it back. So you can see straight away there's not the kind of mess that you normally get. Okay, I'm late and I've been waiting to see this. Hello, Laurie's DIY Life. Stephanie, hello, Michelle and friends sitting in air conditioning. We're not jealous at all. At hubby's appointment, 90 something outside, so volume down, but want to say congratulations on this lovely Michelle's collection. Thank you so much. It's a good job you've got me turned down, isn't it? Gilding flakes and fans don't go together. No, absolutely. The template, backboard make a great Brenda. Yeah, template library tray and backboard. You cannot use a glue that dries hard. It must be a glue that dries tacky. I tried Kalal and made a mess. Yes. It can be done, but you have to get the perfect spot of dry, but not too dry. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I've got some tacky glue in here, which you can use. But again, you need to be keeping an eye on it to make sure that it's at the right tackiness. But because this comes out blue, it means that you can keep your eye on it and you know that once it's not blue anymore, it's ready to go. So I'm just going to, I know some of that was still a little bit wet. So what I can do now is I can pull those pieces away and be careful and pop it back in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close that off and I'm going to pop those to the side. And then I don't have a sponge, so I'm going to use this. The only tiny little bit of mess now I'm going to get is from doing this. Now, if you're really careful with it, I've got a tiny little bit of mess. It's stuck on there. Now, I have smudged mine because I didn't allow it to dry. But you can see how I've smudged it because I didn't let it dry fully. So that's the amount of waste I've got or mess I've got from using this compared to gilding flakes. Now, I love gilding flakes, don't get me wrong, but I never use them because I cannot stand the mess. So that tiny little bit that I've got left on there, I unfortunately smudged it, but that's it. So if you love your gilding flakes, but you don't ever want to use them, Gaz, then it's just a brilliant option. You can get these gold leaf sheets, you can get silver leaf, and it means that you can use your gilding flakes. So if you've got the craft kit, I did include some of those in there. So let's pop up, let me bring this one in. So That's what I used on here. You can see that without squashing it, I waited till that dried, it goes on beautifully. So those with one of these are two of the best things that you can ever have. So it just looks lovely, doesn't it? The fact that you've cut into your papers, because I know we don't like to do that, but you've still got all that beautiful artwork on display. It's one of my favourite cards to do because it's one of those that's so quick to throw together when someone comes and they want a quick card. There's always, we all have that one who says, can you make me a card for tomorrow? And it's like 6 p.m. at night. So that is one that I like to do because it's still very much a wow effect. Right, let me see if I've missed any more gossip. Eileen's temporary glue. Yeah, I've heard a few people use that. Gilding flakes and gas don't work together. Absolutely not. I love all the colours, but I hate the mess, which is why I love those sheets. Because you saw how contained that was. I've got no gilding flakes anywhere. I haven't got them on my hands. That tiny little bit that's on my my little ink rag, and that's it. But Gaz, I know that you've got a box coming, so you've got to do a live, and you've got to use them on your live. That's your quest. I have a lovely gilded garage floor. Oh, that sounds nice. Babs, they are a nightmare. Yeah, they are. I have a work meeting in 10 minutes. I'm not familiar with YouTube. Can I watch these back? Yes, it'll be here on my page. Just go to it says videos, shorts, live, and it'll be under the live tab, and it will be here forever. Unfortunately. Get to listen to me over and over and over again. But yes, it will stay here, Beth. I tried to do a paint a wash with the glue and then flakes. I could tell exactly where I used the paintbrush. Any tips for that technique? The glue and a paint a wash. Do you mean by watering a paint a wash with the glue and then flakes? The paintbrush. So if you're getting those lines with your paintbrush, use a sponge. You can get either a sponge applicator, or you can get those. They look exactly like a paintbrush, but the top is silicone. Looks exactly like a paintbrush, but it's silicone instead of the brush bits. So yes, either try a sponge applicator or one of those silicone type brushes. That was my evil plan to big up the Michelle box and make some lovely things by using the gilding flakes, guys. Toner foil will give a similar effect to leaf, like a rub-on. Yeah, absolutely. You're very welcome, Beth. I took my gilding flakes to the garage to use. Yes, where you can make a mess and it doesn't really matter. Thank you. You're welcome. If I answered it properly, if I read your message properly, then let me know, Terry, if I answered you properly. I might have to brave it. Well, again, if I bring mine back out, Gaz, and I think you can see actually that it just, let me turn that over because one side's shorter than the other, so you can open it up really well. It's all still there. So yes, if you're going to brave anything, right, there's my tweezers. I don't want to touch that because it's going to stick to me. But again, tweezers, just pop it back in there and you're done. Right. Go, Gaz. I love gilding flakes. I just don't like using them. They look pretty sat in my pots on the shelf, and that's about it for me. Shall we do another card? Shall I show you just another little technique type thingamabob. Which one shall we do? Shall we do the exploding box? Shall I do the exploding box? Get your votes in now. Yes, please. Wowzers, who knew they had something that could control them? Are we still talking about the gilding flakes, Gaz? What was it you said that time, Gaz? You used them once and never again. They take a special person to use the gilding flakes. Oh, I'm seeing lots of yeses. Okay, we'll do the exploding box. Exploding box or a star card? Hannah, what's a star card? But while you're telling me what a star card is, I have got my exploding box bits ready. So again, this is the exploding box that I created. I've done just a few little techniques on it that are really, really simple. But what they allow you to do is not do too much to your papers. So you're not going to just stick them in there and leave them. But you can still do stuff to your papers, but not by covering them up or not being able to see them or anything like that. So what I've got on here, let me bring in, is obviously this is my little centerpiece. So I made a little acetate dome, and I've got all those little bits glued in there, but you can still see the papers. But what you've also got is each of these, they're going to be a tab, and obviously you're not going to stick a tag or a tab or a message in that's that big. So again, it's just little techniques that allow you to have a play with them, still see them, but still have lots of fun with it, if that makes any sense. So let me pop this to the side, and then I will bring in my bits. So what we're going to start off with, so I love these Chloe's Creative cards. She does so many different 8x8 nesting dies. So these are my squares, and they go up to an 8x8. But look how many I've got in there. How many does it say? 29, ranging from the 8-inch one to a 1-inch one, and it comes on that magnetic carrier sheet as well. So these are blooming brilliant. So I'll pop that to the side. Again, let me just move all those bits. So I've picked this one. I mean, you can absolutely pick any that you want. Let me try and stay sort of organised. Right, so what we're going to do, you're going to start with, as we always do, a 12 by 12. I've scored it at 4 and 8. And I know I only scored it lightly, so we'll go back over it. So we're going to score it either at 4 and 8 or just 4 on each side. It works out exactly the same. And then we're done. And then I've got my lid already cut down as well. Now, because of the way that we're going to fold this, we're not cutting those corners away. We're folding them in, so you've got a little bit more bulk on it. So what I did was I've cut my piece of card to 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 on my lid. I've scored each side at 1 inch, but then what that gives me is 4 inches and a quarter on my lid. So it allows for those mats and layers. It allows for that extra bit of bulk because we're folding our sides in and not cutting them away. I think if you're just doing the traditional way, you cut your corners away and just fold those 4 pieces up, you can sort of get away with not having to add that extra 1/4 of an inch on. I always tend to do my lid after I've finished my base, because then I know how many mats and layers I've got on, I know how bulky I've gone with it, and then I can adjust my lid accordingly. got like 5 bits to it, and it opens out, and the front attaches to the back, and it looks like a star from above. With Once Upon a Time. Oh, I think I remember what you mean. I'll have to have a look for that and then make one. As always, I like to take a little wedge out. I feel it makes my box sides glue down nice and seamlessly. And then last one. So I'll pop that to the side for now, because then we'll bring this in. So we're going to score it the same as we would any exploding box, but we've just got less cuts to do on it. There we go. And last one. So there you go. So now what we'd normally do is we would cut those 4 pieces out, and then that's your exploding box. And you can put multi-layers inside if you want. It's funny, actually, on my last week on my timeline, it came up, was it 5 years ago, when I worked with the first Christmas collection for CC, and Debbie Robinson showed my twisted exploding box. And then she wrote to me and asked me how to make it. And she did I think a tutorial or a craft along with it. But I can't believe it was 5 years ago that I did that for CC. So yes, so you could absolutely do that. You could use 5 of your pattern papers, 4 of them, and do a lovely twisted one. But I thought we'd start off nice and simple. I'd give you just different ideas of how to really show off your papers. So either with your scissors or your tool of choice, I'm just going to trim down just that one piece there, and you can see that it's going to fold over. And I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to cut this one. So I'm cutting on the right hand side each time I turn it round. So what you get is it's going to fold in, and it's going to follow all the way round. So I've got there. I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to do that one. Trying to concentrate. There we go. So then when it closes up, it's going to follow around this way, and then that one's going to tuck in. And then, so you see what I mean by that little bit of extra bulk on there, because there's going to be mats and layers on all sides of these as well. So we're going to pop that to the side, and then we're going to bring this in, and we're going to trim this down. So all my sides are 4x4. So it's entirely up to you. You can keep these at 4x4. You can trim just that 1/8 off. You can trim 1/4 of an inch off. Entirely up to you. I'm going to go down just 1/8 of an inch. I'm just double checking. 1/8 of an inch on these. And then you will have that little bit of a strip left over. You could make a lovely ribbon with if you wanted, lovely paper ribbon. So then, again, on the other way, cut them all down, trying to keep them in order, because we saw how long it took me last time. I tried to figure out where everything went. There we go. So pop those there. And so literally just rinse and repeat. I'm cutting these all down to 3 7/8. My trimmer has started sticking. Look, it gets really stuck, which is really annoying. I told you that for no other reason than I nearly swore at my trimmer just then, so I thought I'd let you know. There we go. So let's pop this. See, I kept it in order and it's still hard to put together. There we go. Is that right? Oh, there you go. So that one wasn't so bad. So we're literally going to stick these straight onto that exploding box, but we're going to do just a little bit of either pockets on these. So I'm not going to put pockets on these because those are my folding out bits, but you absolutely can. I mean, if I bring this in, you could bring that over, you could glue it across there and up there and have it as a pocket. You could trim it off and just have that glued down, and again have that as a bit of a different pocket. But I wanted to show the whole of the paper off, so that I'm not going to do it like that. So we're just going to pop that on there, and you can see that I've got a lovely little border just round the edge. So I'm going to glue in my 4 corners now because I know I'm doing nothing else to those, and then there's less confusion because there's less squares on my desk. I think most of us are seduced by the pretty. Oh, me too. Try a star card. I'll have a look for those star cards, and I'll probably know what you mean once I see it. Oh, what's a twisted exploding box? Oh, a twisted exploding box is fabulous. So this is a 12 by 12, and each piece is 4 by 4. So you go down in size. So you would cut an 11 by 11 or a 10 by 10 piece of card as your next and score that into the thirds. And when it sits inside, let me do one because it's going to be easier for me to tell you, for me to show you than to tell you. So you go down in sizes. So started with a 12 by 12. So we'll go down to a 10 by 10 because that's going to make it just easier for me to do all those sort of thirds. So let me pop that there. So you can see, let me move those. So you can see straight away that you've gone down in size. So we're going to score this into thirds. I'm not sure I can figure out 10 by 10 into thirds. Let's make it simple for me. We'll go down to a 9 by 9. I can't pick it up. A 9 by 9, just for a little bit more speed. You don't want to see me using my fingers trying to figure those little extra numbers out. So then on your scoreboard, you're going to score it in those thirds again as well. So at 3 inches all the way round, where on the bigger piece, it was at 4 inches all the way round. And then however small you go down, you are literally just scoring it exactly the same. Oh, I've missed one. Let's get that last one on there. So this is when I started crafting 15, 16 years ago. This is one of the things that I created more than anything. I used to sell at craft fairs and online and things like that to family and friends. And it was something that I sold more than cards. I think we all just love something a little bit different, don't we? So you can see that it's scored. And again, what you can do if you want, you can cut it exactly the same, but traditionally we would cut those corners away. Or you could fold it in the middle so it folds in. Or you can just trim. So you could just trim that corner away if you wanted. And then when it comes in, so let me just fold it. You see how you've got that fold? So when it closes up, you've got that lovely clean edge. You can cut it away. It's entirely up to you. There's a million different ways. I know CC did an exploding box where you added hearts to the corner. But if you've got a heart die, and you can sort of trace round it, shall I do a really let's see how good my cutting skills are. What does a heart look like? So it sort of would go like that, wouldn't it? It looks more like a baby's bottom, but we'll go with it. So just from that corner, obviously, you know, if you're tracing around a die or the shape of a heart, see what I mean about the baby's bottom? But then again, so fold it over and then fold it back on itself. So that line here will fold onto that line. And it almost wants to do it itself anyway. So then you can have a lovely shaped corner, just this normal corner, or the corners cut away. But what happens is when, in fact, I will cut them away so you can see visually a lot better. But just an idea of a couple of different kinds of corners that you can do if you don't want to cut them away. Because it's always nice to add extra ephemera and embellishments. So you have got your normal exploding box. You're going to close it up like that, but a twisted one, you're going to twist the base in the middle. And that's literally all you're going to do. But when you have got 3, 4 and 5 layers and they're all twisted round that little bit more, so your next one would twist round even more. So when you put your next layer in, it would twist. And what you do is you get the beautiful pattern in the middle. And it does all close up. So it will all close up on itself, as long as you've made sure that you haven't twisted that to the point where it's hanging over the corners. As long as this doesn't hang over that corner and this bit, do you see how it's still in line with those sides? You get that beautiful twist. So that is what a twisted exploding box is. Do you know what I love? I love the fact that I had all the time in the world to explain that to you and not have to rush with my box. But they're so effective when someone opens them and you've got 4 or 5 different layers popping out at you. It's just stunning. So I did say we were popping, I'm going to glue all my 4 corners. Now, before I do, I could pop that on there and I could make, you know, not glue one of the sides down. So even on those corners, if you wanted to create a little pocket, you absolutely could do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and stick with my plan. And I need another bottle, I think. Right, so pop that there. Do you think the papers will become a digital file to save on shipping? I don't know. I think someone else asked me that, and I think it's something that I might look at, but for now, no. Does that sound awful? Hopefully, I'll get to a point where I'm that big, I can offer you all free shipping. Am I not in order? Are you sure? Do we mean my picture? Let's have a look. My husband's just come in and said, are you not in order? Probably not. Someone comment. That's not part of the picture. Is it not? Are you sure? Do you want to come and sit in the front of the camera and do it for me? These backstreet drivers. That's right. So that one goes. Have I lost a piece? How have I lost a piece? Thank you for explaining the twisted exploding box. You're very welcome. It could be stuck underneath anything. Is this it? Oh, that's not it. Oh. How does that happen? Does that happen to anyone else? Is it? I don't know. Let me just lift my mat up, see if it's under there. No. Have I got? It's almost like it's magic. Right, so I've got those two glued. Those two definitely go there. And that follows on. That doesn't follow on. That one follows. That one go there. That one doesn't go there. That one definitely goes there. Let's have a look at one of the pieces. What am I missing? Oh, so that one goes. Does that one go over there? It does. I wonder if I can still peel them off. You see, I got so excited about showing you a twisted exploding box. But look at it sticking to me everywhere. That I got all mixed up. Oh, the good thing about Kalal is how it peels off, even when you've been stuck down for a while. Right, so that's it, isn't it? And then that one's there and there. I've just had that and I moved it because... Right, keep your eye on them. Don't stop, you're not in order. Stop. Oh, see, I told you I should look up more often to the comments. But I've got to say, that's the best thing about Kalal, isn't it? How you can peel it off so easily, even after it's been on a little while. See, that's when I could have done that speech to text thing, isn't it? So let's start again. There we go. If I ever tell you guys that I've bought a jigsaw for my kid, for my grandkid, my grandchild. Just a second. Are you sure? So Ben keeps coming in. He just keep making an appearance. He just won't come round this side. He's brought me a full piece so I can make sure I know what I'm doing. We're right though now, aren't we? That's all perfect. Right, so shall I concentrate? So I'm just doing my corners. I'm just going to glue mine down. You absolutely could not glue a side so you can create a pocket. So third one, I'm keeping an eye on them. And then fourth one. Oh, I'm leaking a little. So let's just move those. And then, so those four are nice and in place now. So you can see that they look lovely. So I've got the rest of these. And this is where you're going to have a little bit of a play. So you saw on my original ones, I had created pockets. You can have pockets and you can add some foam pads behind to create depth, Or if you don't want to create that kind of depth, but you still want pockets, you're just going to glue it down. So on my other one, I had it going sort of diagonal. But then I realised here when I had it going diagonal and that was my pocket, because I had that embellishment in the middle, I couldn't make a tag with it. So I'm just going to do it a little bit different. So on these two, I'm going to just cut these diagonally. So if I just pop that to the side and just line that up right in the middle. And then that's going to be a pocket there. And then this one's going to go from that side to that side, so the opposite way. And then these two, again, because I said I couldn't create a pocket there. I think I'm just going to go straight across. But I'm just going to do, in fact, I'll go right in the middle. No, I won't. Let me do. So this is just whatever you think. So I've cut that down to 1.5 inch, and then that's obviously the rest. And then I'm going to do the same with the top. But so where I've done that on the outside, I'm going to do the 1.5 inch on the outside there as well, just so it all sort of looks uniform. So that's going to go there. And I'm going to pop that there. And again, this is where you've got some choices. You can bring in a tiny slither. So let me just, of a coordinating paper and pop that across the top. So it makes it look obvious that there's a pocket there. Or what I did was, again, I got this pen out. And I went round those bits as much or as little as you want that I know are going to be the pockets. So the top and bottom there. Again, you can use some of your inks, anything that you want to make these pop out. Again, you can see I aren't being particularly careful because it just looks lovely when it's a little bit messy. It's like artistically messy, isn't it? I'm loving all the messages. Take the lower right and bring it all the way to the left. It's my own paper pad and I still couldn't figure it out. You can imagine how much I struggled with those 6-piece jigsaw puzzles, can't you? It's funny because as Ben's been printing them out and he's been saying things like, it's like, so which one's next? What's left to do? And I'm like, I don't know. You know what I miss from you? Being on CC, I'm hearing about all the lovely food Ben has been making. Oh, he made the most beautiful Indian last night. So he made, his was a hotter one. I think he had a Madras. And he made me a baby one, a mild one. Because I can't do the heat at all. I had a little taste of his and it was way too hot. But he makes them from scratch. So it was literally the most beautiful curry. It really was. But it's when he's chopping up all the bits and he's got all his spices frying in the pan and whatever it is he does, it smells amazing in here. So yeah, I had a beautiful curry last night. So I've glued that one down flat because I'm going to have this where I can pop my tab or my tag or whatever it is. Because again, I've got that centerpiece that went in here. So I can't tuck anything in the top. So we're going to do this one so it can tuck underneath. Let's open that up a little bit more. So when I'm doing this, I'm just going to pop glue around those 3 sides. And then pop it on there. And you can line it up. You can bring it right down to it if you want. So it just looks like a bit of gold going across, or you can leave a tiny little space. Again, these are all sort of design decisions that you will do yourself. So I'm going to have a tag under there. So what I'm going to do is, instead of flattening this right down when I'm sticking it down, I'm going to get my finger here and here. I'm just going to push together that tiniest little bit. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me the tiny little bow. I don't know if you can see it if I lift it up. You can, but what it means is it makes it so much easier for me to be able to tuck things in there. So this one is going to be my pocket. So we're going to pop glue just down those two edges, pop it down. And then I'm going to stick. In fact, you don't have to. You could do exactly the same with that one. So you could put a tab in either side if you wanted to get that straight. But I'm going to stick the top one down. And I'm going to do the same on them all. You just push in just a little bit till you've got enough there that it makes it easier for you to be able to pop those elements in and out with ease. There we go. So glue that one nice and flat. And then so I can pop in there with ease. So we could do the same with this one. I'm going to glue the top a bit flat and have this one raised a little. Ignore the ding. I'm going to place an order. Be right back. I have to leave, but we'll rewatch. Oh, but thank you for joining, Stephanie. That one's my pocket, isn't it? So press it down at the bottom and the sides. So this is one of those pieces that I had to peel up because I glued it in the wrong place. It's a good job you can't see my face. But look how it just, the thing is, look, this glue is just awesome. It's definitely one of the best glues that I've ever used. And then let's pop that there. And again, I've got enough room to pop that in. And then we're going to do the last one, and then we'll do something a little different with that inside piece. So glue everywhere. So I did say, I had a little bit of exciting news, didn't I? So I'm doing my Ciao Bella live tomorrow night. We're going to finish off that album. And then guess who may or may not be on Create and Craft next week with Ciao Bella's papers. Did I go too quiet then? I went all coy, didn't I? See, I've done it again. I distracted myself and I've glued the whole thing. Doesn't matter though, because we'll just pop it down. Straighten that up a little bit. And that can be a faux pocket. But yes, I'm on Create and Craft next week. Yay! I'm very excited. Can you tell? I know I contain it really well, don't I? But yes, so excited. So I think with the 3rd of July-ish, you know me and dates. But yes, I'll be back on your screens. You'll be able to see me again. Yay, you. Right, so can you see how lovely it starts to look? Whichever way you create those pockets. Oh, I can see lots of yippies and yays and congratulations. Thank you. I'm very excited. I've got lots more news coming up over the next few weeks or so that I can't quite share yet, but I knew I could share that one. Right, so this middle piece, this is where we're going to create that lovely dome. So I've just got a piece of my heavyweight acetate because that's absolutely perfect for it. And it's these particular ones. So what are they roughly? It's 8.5, isn't it? So I've just cut a strip of it. So it's 8.5 wide, and I've cut it down to 2.5. So 8.5 by 2.5. Before I go and glue this down, I'm going to pop it to the side, and I'm going to bring in one of those dies that I was telling you about earlier. So I'm going to roughly look for the 2.5 one. I'm going to pop that in the middle, and we're going to cut it out. We're going to cut it out, but we're going to place it back in. Does that fit through there? Oh, it doesn't. Let me bring in my bigger one. So we're going to cut it out. We're going to place it back in. You're still going to get to see all that lovely artwork, but you've done something with it. You haven't just stuck it in and left it. Let me just find my shimmy thing. Here it is. Let me just move that over. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you on CC. What day, what time? Oh, I'm really excited. I don't know who the presenter is yet, so I'm really excited. I'm really hoping it's going to be Joe. Because I haven't seen, even if he's not, I'm not on with him, it'd be lovely if he's there. And being able to see him again would be lovely. But I don't know. As soon as I've got all the details, you know I'm going to be posting about it. So I will let you all know. So I've got the 2.5-inch square, and I've just popped it in the middle, and we're going to run that through. What collection? So I've got rice papers. I've got lots of, so it's personal impressions and with Ciao Bella. So personal impressions, they do lots of amazing MDF pieces and things like that. So we're going to be playing with some rice papers onto MDF bits and bobs, and we're going to be using the Land of the Rising Sun collection. So lots of exciting stuff there. Just pop that back. Right. So we've cut that 2-inch square out. So again, like we did with the gold, we're going to edge this up. Where did I put it? It's here. If I see Joe, I will absolutely tell him hello from you. I'll tell him how much we've all missed him. Yeah, definitely. It would be lovely to, even if I don't get to work with him, to see him again for sure. But yes, as soon as I've got all the important details, I will let you know. Did I see someone say, where do you buy your Ciao Bella paper from? So you can get it from Personal Impressions. You can get it from Create and Craft. You can also get it from Hobby Maker. But depending on where you are, literally, there's so many places do it. So if you just Google Ciao Bella papers, and if you know what collection you want, put that on. But you have to put the papers, Ciao Bella paper or Ciao Bella papers, because if you just put Ciao Bella, it tells you what it means in Italian and nothing else. So I'm going to pop that back in the middle, and we're going to place that back in, which looks okay. But what looks even nicer is if you get either 1 or 2 pieces of your mount board, and then we glue all those together, and then we place it in. Because then what you've got, I mean, you can't really tell, but what you've got from the side is you've got that depth. So you've had a bit of fun. You've cut some shapes out. You've lifted them up. You can use foam pads if you want. Because I added the acetate dome to it, I felt it better to add just some mount board. So I've cut a couple of pieces of mount board. We'll glue those in a second. So again, it's all about having a play with your papers. still cutting them up, still cutting shapes into them, and all that kind of thing, adding height and depth, but still being able to see all that beautiful, just trying not to lose my pin, artwork. So let me glue two. So these are just some mount board that I've had for ages. Again, I got it off Amazon. You can get really, I think they were big A3 sheets that I've got. So let me just trim. And I've cut them to exactly the same size as that. We're going to bring in either, again, your gilding flake, your gilding wax, or your pen. We're going to pop that gold all the way around the edge. I've already done it round my piece of paper. My nib's a little bit worse for wear, but it's because this tends to be the thing that I use it for more than anything else. So let's then glue. Now I have changed glues, and it's entirely up to you, but when I tend to be gluing anything onto a mount board, I use a tacky glue. It just because your glue tends to want to soak it in, especially on an uncoated mount board. So I find that a tacky glue is my go-to, definitely. So then that's going to sit in there now, and you've got that bit of depth. You've got that draws your eye to the center, and because you've got these as well, it's drawing your eye right into the center. So I'm going to pop that just to the side because I just need to pop a couple of scar lines on here. So roughly 1/2 inch. Turn it over on both sides. Just turn that round because the light's shining there. I couldn't quite see to scar it. My Google search ended with lots of paper with Bella Ciao, the Italian song. They're singing Money Heist. I love that. Joe was before my time at CC. I've been enjoying him at Create and Craft. Dan Bancroft is my favourite though. He's a handsome chap. He is a handsome chap. I've met Dan once. He came up to CC. It was nice because Ben obviously knows him, so it was lovely for them to catch up. But yeah, I would love it to be Joe, I've got to say. So we're going to pop that there, and we're going to see if we're happy with the height of it. If you feel it's too high, you're not happy with the height, just trim it down a little bit. But I'm more than happy with my height. So what I'm going to do is bring in some red liner. I'm going to pop it to this, so the underside of this rather than onto my acetate. It just makes things so much easier. And that side as well. And then give it a good burnish. Do you know, Ben's been in and out of this room like a yo-yo. Right, so making sure that I'm going to be adding the acetate to the correct side. So let me put one more piece along the middle. And then trim that away. Is he leaving CNC? Oh, Joe. Right, I don't think he's leaving. I think so. The new job. So he has got a new job. The one where he's going to disappear to. He's doing like tours, isn't he? For going on holiday basically for 2 weeks and doing tours with people. He's being like a bit of a rep kind of thing, but way better and more exciting than a rep. So I think that's a few weeks at a time. So as far as I know, he's not leaving. I think he's just doing that as well. Right, so we're going to pop that right up to the side and then press it down. And this is why I've done it on here rather than the acetate. It's just so much easier to do, so much easier to control. That side as well, and then press it down. And then what you've got is that lovely dome, and it's just going to sit beautifully in the middle. So again, this is entirely up to you. You can add some more red liner to that acetate there and there. You can pop some tacky glue in here because tacky glue will stick it down. It just takes a lot longer to go off and become permanent. But because I've already got some red liner all along the middle, I'm going to leave that for now. And then I'm having this facing forward, obviously facing all the same way. And just here and here, I'm going to pop some hot glue because that's going to work perfectly as well. And it's going to allow me to wiggle it into place before that red liner grabs permanently. Just got a little bit of glue there. So give it a good press down. And then you've got that lovely height. You can make that as high as you want. Obviously, it's not as high as your box. You could create a little gift box underneath there, about 1 inch high if you wanted to, or a little bit bigger if you made this a little bit smaller, and it could have some chocolate in there. It could be a little bit of jewelry for the one you love. But just by popping that piece of pattern paper on top of your box, you've still got that continuity of that pattern and that paper. I'm not going to decorate this all up because you've seen my other one all decorated. I will bring it in to show you. Let me grab it now. Because again, just showing you, remove those, how all of those papers work on this. You just get to see it all, and it's just so absolutely beautiful. So if I pop that to the side, and that's the one. So all I've got done is I've got some dried paper, well, dried flowers in my stash, and I've just decorated those over the top. And if I lift it up, so I had some little glass jars with a little cork in the top. I've just added some beads in the middle. So depending on what side you're looking at it from, you can really see them. And then again, lots of small mulberry flowers I've added, and then just a couple of sparkly flowers, some wooden hearts. I've just decorated it up. You don't have to, again, if you put in a box there, you can decorate this however you want. Do you dry your own flowers? I don't know. So did I get these from Sharon? I'm trying to pronounce the last name. Sharon Izanuzi, I think it is. She was with Dawn Bibby for a little while, and she's gone alone now. She has done for a little while. She's got sort of her own dies and stamps and shop. And I think I got the dried flowers from her. They come in a pack. It's just pressed dried flowers. And again, places like eBay, Amazon, you can get these from. I got mine from Sharon. Again, with the stamp die, it's over there somewhere. There it is. I just ran it through with some offcuts and just added 2 there in the corner and just a couple up there. Again, I went round with the gold pen. I've got all sorts stuck to me. And then all you're going to do is when you lift it up, it just all folds round beautifully. If I bring my lid in, I've done exactly the same on the lid as I did with the middle. I turn it round. Can you see the height? So exactly the same. I've got my lid. I've got my patterned piece of paper. I brought in my 2-inch, well, it's 2.5, isn't it? My 2.5-inch die. Cut that middle out. and popped a couple of pieces of Mount Bard underneath as well. And then, like I was saying before, you know, when I cut the stamp up, it's gone. It's gone. Let's do it with this one. So again, I cut lots of these stamped pieces. Can you see it? With these. And then you just, the nicest way I think that they go on is to cut them in half on an angle. And then when you pop on there, it's not straight. It doesn't look like you've placed it there. When it's a little bit on an angle, it looks a little bit lovely. And then you could maybe just add a flower on there, or some gems, or if you've got some little sticky gems, if you've got some. So you can see here I used a flower there. I've just got a couple of mulberry flowers there, so just paper flowers, a couple of leaves, piece of bow, a lovely bow made from ribbon, not from whatever it was I was trying to say. And again, a couple of those little wooden love hearts. So you can see I haven't done a great deal to it because you don't need to, but you still want to do something to it. So definitely edging it with a little bit of gold, either your pen or your wax, looks lovely. Definitely if you want to stencil away on these, you absolutely can do because they're uncoated. But just by having, even if you don't have this, if you've got some of those deckled edge scissors where you can just cut your paper like that and create your own little stamps, just adding little embellishments to it, really, I think just helps the papers to work for themselves. So that's the exploding box. That's literally all I did. It's there, look. I was just looking for that. It's just appeared. So nice and easy. Oh, the crochet blanket. That was amazing that she made for my raffle. That was so generous of her. It was, so the picture she sent me looked absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Lol, never mind. Is there a film on the acetate? There is a film on the acetate, and I've glued it in with the film on the acetate. But that's all right. I can sort that out. In fact, did I take the film off? Actually, I think I took the film off, didn't I? I did. Look at that. I did. I thought I'd left it on. It wouldn't have been the first time at all. This is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. I know I could have created something very extravagant, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to show you how you can still make some fabulous stuff without being scared to cut into your papers. Because I think I was saying earlier, we've all got papers in our stash that, not necessarily, I don't want to use the word generic, but maybe we've got lots of them, or they're a background and you can cut into them and mat and layer on top of them. Still see a little bit of it, but it doesn't, it's not a paper that we're too bothered about covering bits of it up. I think when you've got, now I do the same with, I've got some minty papers. In fact, let me show you, because I want to show you what I mean. You know, I'm not going to be able to find them now. In fact, I can't find minty papers, but I want to show you these because these was very much influential of what I wanted to do. Now, this is a company called Bella Luna. And can you see how theirs, I mean, they've got a fussy cutting sheet on there. No, I don't at the minute. Let me just pop them to the side. You've got a beautiful full piece of artwork. And again, I know these are double-sided. But you've got this full piece of artwork that you don't want to cut that up. You don't want to mat and layer something onto this. I shouldn't be showing you someone else's paper, should I? But this is very much what sort of inspired me. The full, beautiful artwork that you don't want to cover up. So bear with me 1 second while I pop them back. Because has any of you actually had, So Ciao Bella, the same. You don't want to cover lots of that up, but so this is some of my minty papers. And can you see how it's a full piece of artwork that you don't want to cover up? So it's very much an inspiration for my papers that I wanted to just do sort of miniature pieces of artwork. You've got this piece. What are you going to do? You're not going to cut into it, but what you're going to do with this piece is very much what I've just done with this piece. You're going to be able to cut into it without having the fear that you're getting rid or hiding any of that beautiful paper. So very much my inspiration there, definitely. So now I've sort of finished. Oh, what have I done with them? Would we like another sneaky peek? Did I even finish my point? What I was saying? Your makes have been amazing. Oh, thank you, Gaz. Gorgeous. I wouldn't want to give it away, but you see, that's it. Now I know I haven't done this, and I will definitely do it either in another live or just on a tutorial. But I used one of these beautiful. So this is, I think, what did I just say? It's 10 inches by 4 inches, and then this is 2 inches. So again, if you're wanting to make some little lovely mini albums, things like that. So I've used some different on the inside, and I've got all my pages with some, it's vellum, isn't it? So again, I haven't decorated any of the inside pages yet at all. But what I wanted to do was create an album where the whole 12 by 12 just wraps around it. Because again, when you've got these sat on your shelf and you've got lots of beautiful memories in your albums, or you are gifting them or selling them, and someone opens that up, that is a wow. And you're not hiding or covering up any of that beautiful artwork. So very much like, and again, I will do a tutorial on this. So very much like this little gift bag I made. You've got some of that lovely artwork. I've just done a lovely little corner sort of flourish there. But because I've used, again, I use that die, this die. It's like the best thing. Just a generic die. I think Tim Holtz does one, but mine was just off Amazon. So I don't know, but that's where it was from. It means that you can still cover it up a little bit, but because you're covering it up with stamps that you've cut out with the papers and that die, you just sort of embellishing your papers with your papers, and then it just pops out. Let me just move that. So it just pops open. And then what I did, so I was saying about creating notelets earlier, wasn't I? I've cut it into 6 by 6s. I've just ruffled some of it up. I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Some very simple sentiments on all of those. And then when you open it up on the inside, again, I've just added a little bit of vellum. So very simple. You'd create some envelopes to go with it, and then you're just going to pop them all in here. And again, you've got a lovely little gift set. Just got some lovely little charms on there. I've got a little letter on there. So it's about not being scared of cutting into your papers, because we just want to look at them. But by creating stuff, you get to look at them looking even more beautiful. So very quickly before we go, I have been working on, and that's the royal eye, meaning me and Ben, some new collections. So I'm going to show you a few sneaky peeks. So this is from one of my Christmas collections. Now it is so much more red and warm and gold and colourful. I think actually I took a picture of one of these and popped it on there. But look at all my little sort of my Santa nutcrackers on there. I just thought it was Lovely. And then this one. So imagine these a lot more red and green and gold than my camera's allowing you to pick up. If I tip it a little bit, you get more of an idea. But they're warm and delicious and absolutely gorgeous. So that's going to be one collection. Now, this is going to be one of my other collections, okay? So I'm going to release 2 Christmas collections. When will these be available? July, maybe the 1st or 2nd week in July. It depends how quick I can work, Ben. But we probably, so I don't even know what date are we on, the 26th. So you're probably talking maybe the 2nd week in July at the earliest. What do you think? I love it. Do you love it? Again, it's so much warmer than my camera's allowing you to pick up. So this is my second. Do you want to see one more? One more from my second collection. I love these. Shut the back door. Oh my. Snow. So the snow globe and this one's sort of a mix between a snow globe and a bauble. So this sort of collection is going to have baubles and snow globes and the most amazing scenes inside. So those are my 2 Christmas collections. So a few months down the line, I've always wanted to do or have a circus collection. And the best thing about being able to create my own papers is I can do that. Just hope that you guys are going to love them as much. So I love the circus. I love the freak show look of it. I know that sounds really awful, but you know, that very old fashioned. Did anyone watch American Horror Story? You know, when they had that that series, I think it was called Freak Show, wasn't it? I mean, we're not going that freaky, but so my husband said it's very much like, you know, the German Black Forest type thingamabobs. I can't think of the word that he said. A little bit steampunky, a little bit different. So these are my greens and golds. I love that you aren't just producing trash and you're making amazing things and you listen to what people say. But yes, that's it. I mean, being with CC for so many years, as much as everyone loved everything, we always read what you guys were wanting, and things like that. So it never went unheard or unread. But because I'm small, because it's me and Ben and some printers, we can do that. So when people have said, I'd love something a little bit different, I'd love something a little bit steampunky, we can do that. And you don't have to, we're not working a year in advance for things like this. Oh, MFG, shut up and take my money. I must have that. So I'm going to show you one more from this collection. And again, so there's still a work in progress. So I thought instead of having, what is he called? Him who's in charge with the whip. With the lions and the it's the something master, isn't it? I've not got a clue. But so we don't have the ringmaster. Hannah, thank you every time. Thank you. So we don't have the ringmaster, we have the ring mistress. And again, it's reds and golds and the blacks. It doesn't quite pick up what it is, but the cogs and the almost clockwork flowers and all that kind of thing going on. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of sneaky peek of what is definitely coming up. And do I leave it there? No, let's move. So, and as always, if there is anything that you think that you would love, definitely message me. You know, and if lots of people are messaging along the same things, then again, because I said, because it's just us and we're small, it's something that we can do. I hope you liked those. I'm seeing lots of oh my's and loves and shut the front doors. So I just wanted to let you know sort of the kind of things that I've got coming up, and definitely to watch this space, because I'm very excited about Ring Mistress. Sounds a little dominatrix. Well, I think she looks a little dominatrix, to be fair, doesn't she? So I'm really happy to see that you are liking those. Greek mythology or Egyptian, please. Oh, you read my mind, Hannah. It's almost like you live in my brain. You give me all the words that I forgot or don't know. You correct me. You tell me what everything's called. And now you've read my mind. I love it. Oh my God, Egyptian. Yes. Greek mythology. Yeah, definitely. So like the sphinxes and the beautiful cats and no butterflies. I shouldn't say that, really, should I? I think one of my pages has got some butterflies on. I think it's in here. Look, there's just a few. Can you see them? I was going to say I'll just move the light shining on it, but it's from the paper. So, you know, we have got a few butterflies. You know, there's a place for them, definitely. Here to help. Thank you, Hannah. In fact, I did go to the doctors last week and had some tests done because my memory's shocking, and they're thinking it's the menopause. So, you know, it's nice to have a bit of an excuse for my rubbish memory. I've been asking for an Egyptian collection for 4 years from somebody. Well, you watch this space. I will definitely look into that because there's a few of you have said it. And if it's something that you were wanting, then absolutely. Do you know who Lowell Hero is? Very folk artist that paints amazing farm scenery. Oh, I don't. But again, I will have a look at that and into that, definitely. I have 2 neurological conditions. Luckily, my brain is still tip-top. Oh, your brain is absolutely, it's as sharp as a razor, Hannah, but your body's falling apart. Was it you who was saying the other week that you fractured 6 different things? I like hot air balloons. They are so pretty. So in this collection, so in this sort of steampunky circusy one, I know there's not any on here, but there's some hot air balloons, you know, the very steampunky ones, or unless you want in something more pretty than steampunk air balloons. But definitely, if you ever have any ideas, you know my Facebook, pop me a message. Real Egyptian stuff with gold and hieroglyphs and such. Yeah, like proper Egyptian stuff. Yeah, definitely. I don't think you've noticed, but well, you've probably noticed. I do like something a little bit different because we want something a little bit different, don't we? So, but right, I'm done. So we've done a couple. We've had some little sneaky peeks. I'm loving all of the comments. So positive and wonderful. So thank you very much. And don't forget to join me tomorrow night, if you can, over on Ciao Bella's YouTube. I will be popping the links up. We're going to finish that album. So if I bring it in, so this is the album that we're going to be finishing tomorrow. So it's the huge one, if you remember. So we just did this side, not last week, the week before. So we just did this side with all those elements, and we're going to do the other side. Now, I've had quite a few people message and say, could I put some sort of box in this side? So that's what we're going to do. This is going to be the album side, and this side is going to have either 1 or 2 boxes so we can store things. So again, I think it shows you lots of different ways and different options. So that is going to be tomorrow night. I finished my Michelle. I did envelope boxes for storage instead of pages. Yeah, I think I saw some of your pictures. It's looking amazing. Thank you so much, Michelle. You are a star. Oh, thank you, guys. First visit to Michelle Live, another interesting channel. Thank you very much. I'm going to take that as a positive. No, that's Rhonda, I think. Oh, okay. I did fracture my wrist in January. The hot weather has hit and I can literally walk a few steps before I fall over. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Hannah. To be fair, I don't want to walk a few steps because it's too hot. She's been spoiling the heck out of us. Well, I try. And if you don't mean me, I'm going to take that one anyway, guys. Yes, so thank you so much. I think I've only said goodbye about 8 times. So we've got another 3 or 4 times before I actually really do go. I just bought supplies to help make man board products that you have demoed. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. So if you want any hints or tips, I mean, I do have a few YouTube videos, but if there's anything you'd like to see, again, as always, message, let me know, and I will do my very best. Can't wait to get home and watch the beginning. Thank you, Michelle. Olga, thank you very much. We talked as much nonsense at the beginning as we did through the middle and at the end. So see you all tomorrow for part 3. Yes. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Rhonda. So yes, I will let you all get off. I will see you all tomorrow night. I will definitely pop all the details up. And I will definitely, in fact, Ben's watching in the living room, so I can guarantee you every single idea that you have popped on here, he's wrote down. So yes, always, anything you want to see, definitely let me know. But for the final time, I am going to say goodbye, and I will see you all. Oh, look at my freckles. They've really come out in this warm weather. I get so distracted, don't I? Oh, thank you so much for sharing your talents. And Ben's, yes. I'm happy to share Ben's talents and take a little bit of that credit because I think he's got a fabulous life. Yes, I'm CC next week. As soon as I know the details, I will let you all know. And I will, let me just find my mouse. And I will see you all tomorrow night. Again, any ideas, message me. And thank you all so much.